Hi. Is everything okay?
I'm sorry, sir, but you need to get back to your car.
Anybody hurt?
A couple of injuries, but nothing serious.
Get down! Get out of the way!
We know where we're going, but we don't know where we've been.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Flyover State of Film. We're on episode 9 of this beautiful creation. And as usual, I have a great group of hosts with me for the ride. First, we've got Brian, the host of DVD Bunker. And if you're into the hottest takes after Joe, Jusef, myself, and I guess John Campia, then you definitely got to go to Brian. He's the guy. Next, we got Joe, a.k.a. The Voice. Joe enjoys nice pumpkin spice lattes and absolutely owns a pair of men's Uggs. Y ahora, con ustedes, el más chistoso e inteligente de nuestro grupo, Jusef Conesa. Como mi piene.
Hi.
But in all seriousness, it's great to be in another episode with these guys. And as usual, let's crack the beers. How's everyone going tonight? Brian, what you got, bud?
I'm hitting up that Kraken and Coke, baby. If anybody doesn't know, my personal brand of black rum, the Kraken, is a little endorsement. Hook me up with them checks, baby.
Never fail.
Checks.
What you got, Joe?
I got Cape May Oktoberfest.
Going straight to the shore with that one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little Jersey brewery.
What do you got, Jusef? And sorry for that, man. I don't know if I nailed that or not, but I got that from a woman I work with. She helped me out with that, so I thought I hope I made you proud.
God bless her soul. So since we're talking Cincinnati later, I went with a Cincinnati beer, Urban Artifact, tart pale ale.
Nice. I went with an LA beer, Golden Road Wolf Pup Session IPA.
So you and I are recreating the movie then. All right.
Yes. Yeah, we're wow, that's perfect. That goes right into it. Yeah.
Wow.
And usually we
Synergy. That's pretty amazing, guys.
the last 2 episodes we've had some things to celebrate, from Jusef's mother's health to Joe's engagement. We actually have not that special of a celebration today, but actually, as Brian would love, it's the 20th anniversary of Bride of Chucky. So I figured with my first topic, I'd bring in what are the most underrated or the best redheads in film. I got a couple off the bat. Chucky, Julianne Moore from Boogie Nights. That goes without, saying. But
Julianne Moore, anything.
Yeah. Julianne Moore. I mean, Big Lebowski. I shouted him out earlier as a joke, but I will flat out say, hey, Zach Ward, man, holding it down for Ginger since he was a kid. He was the bully in A Christmas Story. He was on Titus. He's in Freddy vs. Jason, Resident Evil 2. So hey, shout out to Zach Ward.
Yes, I love that pick. That was a great one. Yeah. How about you, Joe?
Oh God, I'd go with Zila Fisher from Wedding Crashers. Just a complete smoke and crazy redhead.
She's in those terrible magic movies too, right?
And you got Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Ooh, Jessica.
Good call. Yeah, Jessica Rabbit, very good.
Because I didn't do my research for this episode.
Jessica Rabbit, confused me a lot as a child.
Lindsay
yeah, a lot of burgeoning sexualities came out of that.
Little Mermaid.
How about here's one.
I was always like, that shell bra is gonna fall off. There's nothing holding it on.
Listen,
it's gonna happen.
This is the second time we've talked perverted Little Mermaid.
Really?
Well, I think it's just an underlying thing. So I just Googled redheads in movies, and only articles that came up were 10 sexiest redheads in movies.
That annoyed me. So I had to dig a little deeper, and I came out with probably my favorite pick: Eric Stoltz, The Mask, Anaconda,
Rocky Dennis.
Yeah,
Mask. I'll throw another one out there. Unless Jusef, do you have anybody on? I have another one in mind.
I have 2. One growing up, I was in love with Molly Ringwald.
Oh yeah.
Very good.
16 Candles and Black Bricks Above and Pretty in Pink. And the one that it seems like he's the go-to ginger now is Don Gleason.
Oh yeah, Brendan Gleeson was going to be my pick because you might not think of it, but he's big, burly, and the first thing I ever saw him in was Braveheart, and he's got that long hair and that big red beard and stuff. I was going to go with Brendan.
What about that inbred looking kid from The Warriors and like Children of the the kid from Children of the Corn.
Oh, and he's in The Burbs. The dude from The
that's
Burbs.
what I'm thinking of. That fucking.
I just know him as Malachi in Children of the Corn.
Yeah,
I actually him out for that role in the TV reboot.
I used to know his name too. I don't have it on the top of my head. I used to, Apparently, my trivia isn't up to snuff. I guess we'll be put to the test later, though.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And then you got the classic Michael Oliver, Problem Child.
I gotta shout out Jessica Chastain if we're talking top 10 sexiest redheads.
Chastain. Oh yeah, definitely.
10 sexiest redheads. I'm gonna go with Amy Adams here, an underrated redhead.
Oh, Amy Adams.
And who's the guy? Wasn't there the dude who was on Homeland? Wasn't he? He's a redhead too, right? And shout everybody out. Every ginger who made it. You're
Sam
one of us,
Darnold.
man.
Who's
Sam
the
Darnold?
Who's the redheaded villain from Last Action Hero with the one glass eye that's in Game of Thrones? He's redhead too.
You're right. Oh yeah.
We suck at names, but so that's.
And also, do you count? What about Jeffrey Jones from Ferris Bueller and Beetlejuice?
Yeah, he's a pedophile though.
The principal. It doesn't mean his hair isn't red.
Well, most redheads are pedophiles.
I was trying to celebrate redheads, not so much criminalize them.
Came out.
We got Joe with Lindsay Lohan and you with fucking that guy.
Oh, peak Lindsay Lohan.
Now I can't even think of any redheads off my head. But I mean, if anyone else doesn't have any, we can move straight on.
I think we did pretty good, though. I think we hit up some good ones.
Yeah, we scraped the barrel. Seth Green.
The WWE wrestler Sheamus.
Yeah.
Oh, there's definitely probably redheads before that guy.
Oh, there's a ton of redheads.
Nice. I stumped everybody. That's probably the best thing ever.
You didn't stump us. We came up with like 7 or 8 things.
Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy.
That does not. Red wigs don't count. Well, fucking. Oh yeah, next you're gonna give me Amber Heard and Aquaman with the most realistic looking wig I've ever seen.
He was one of the first redheads that popped up when I googled redhead actors. And I was like, that's not real. That's not how that works. But yeah,
that's kind of like.
Oh, you know what? I do want to bring up well, The Watchmen.
Rorschach. Jackie Earl Haley.
Jackie Earl Haley.
Oh, that's a good pull.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe the most wasted casting, like they had him as Freddy Krueger and then just made that crappy remake. Like he was that's such a choice casting. Like if you had to recast it, that was really solid.
It was exciting.
And they just fettered it away. They just had nothing. Yeah.
It was a horrible makeup job too.
Well, it was mostly.
I mean, I get they were trying to go with the more realistic burn victim kind of look. Like I get what they were doing, but
Brian, do you remember what Unhappily Ever After was? The TV show.
Yeah, it was like the knockoff of Married with Children.
Nikki Cox.
Yeah, absolutely. And hell, Katie Seagal. I'll throw out Katie Seagal. Like I'm ashamed that I didn't already. I mean, talk about iconic TV redheads for sure.
She was probably one.
And Lucille Ball, right? Got to give it up to Lucy.
Deborah Messing.
Deborah Messing, yeah.
Like a lot of
names
because redhead like women are sexy.
Yeah, but there's a line with like Emma Stone. Emma Stone looks great as a redhead, but she's really a blonde, so you never know what.
Hold on, Joe. Yeah. Keep going what you're saying.
I was gonna say redhead TJ Dex is
oh, yeah.
First off,
I don't know, you just bag my groceries.
My mom says that I'm a catch and I'm a ham, and that anybody will be lucky to have a redheaded person, even though we're not. There's not a lot. Hey, you know what? Shut up, man. And what do you got this week? Because you're so.
Oh, actually, wait. Before you move on, the two from Game of Thrones, the dude with the beard and Jon Snow's wife.
Oh, and the terrible new Jean Grey too.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, don't watch Game of Thrones, all right?
No, I also don't watch Game of Thrones, and I want to out myself right now and stand in solidarity with TJ. I'm a bit of a day walker. I've always had kind of like dirty brown hair, but my beard is very red. It comes in very gingery, and I sunburn very easily. So I'm kind of like like I said, I consider myself almost a day walker. I'm not quite a ginger, but I'm very close.
I'll take it, man.
I'll be your whistler.
What you got, Joe?
So apparently they want to come out with a Call Me By Your Name sequel. And what do you call it? That was the big topic.
Call me by his name.
Call me by your name. 5.
Call me
your name 2, but the TOO 2. That means also.
Or like,
Call me Peaches.
Call me by Too Furious. All right, that was a bad joke. No. So my topic is just like unnecessary sequels. Just unnecessary sequels that you didn't expect coming, ones you never want to see, and ones that are out that are just, even if they were good, like, why the fuck they still make them? A big glaring one that for me, which I haven't seen, but I still have a why the fuck they make it, was Trainspotting 2 came out like a year or two ago, and they called it T2 of all things. That's probably the most unnecessary sequel I could think of off the top of my head. It was probably good. I don't know, but
before we get too far into this, I have to get this out there. It's the worst joke trope. I hate it, and so I'm going to call it out right now. We're going to get this. Electric Boogaloo is not fucking funny. Like, just saying the name of the movie and then 2 Electric Boogaloo is not a joke. That, like, they've killed it. Fucking bury that thing 6 feet under and be done with Electric Boogaloo. I mean, check out any hacky tweet thread about sequels. Inescapably, 4 tweets in, you'll hit an Electric Boogaloo joke. You can't help it.
It's just like the making things the Logan of things now. It's just a shitty joke.
Yeah.
But one thing I'll say about the Electric Boogaloo, the best thing called Electric Boogaloo is if you have a chance on Netflix, watch the story of Canon, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you that. That's fine for them to use it. That's appropriate.
But
that is a good documentary too. That's a good documentary.
That's a real fucking shit joke, and it does get kind of boring. Like, I bet you
it's just real hack. It's just some real hack shit.
Deadpool 2 want to call themselves Deadpool 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I think that actually they missed out on a good joke in Deadpool. For a long time, it was Untitled Deadpool sequel, and that should have been the title of the entire name of the actual movie.
I can't believe they didn't go with Deadpool number 2, like like doo doo, like poopy. Like, that's about the level they work on. So
shit, poop.
Yeah. But when you proposed this question, I actually went on another route. I was like thinking of movies that don't have sequels.
I kind of went your route.
And it would be like a crappy play on words. Like, Almost Famous would be like Was Famous.
Oh, yeah.
Breakfast Club would be like, Lunch Club.
And then
Pulp Fiction would be like, Extra Pulp.
That would actually be pretty fun.
I was playing off this because as soon as this was announced and we decided what we were going to do, they announced that they were thinking about doing a They Live sequel. So like They Live with the exclamation point. Now we'll get They Live They Live question mark, but 2 question marks because 2 it works. And you could do the Beetlejuice sequel instead of you can go Beetlejuice that works. And then this one was just I made this up myself because I figured it would work. Chevy Chase now. National Lampoon's Clark Takes DC, and just straight Chevy Chase going into the White House and yelling at every intern that's in there.
That's just a Tuesday.
Those are all fairly decent ideas. Like, I would watch it.
So I want to circle back. You mentioned the They Live. Is that remake still happening?
I think they're talking about just going straight, like, how they kind of did Halloween now, and they just.
The remake was supposed to star Ronda Rousey.
Roddy Piper, though. It's not. It can't be. I mean, we're not going to get our full.
No, I know, but do you remember that bullshit?
Yeah, when Ronda Rousey was like in the top of the world.
No, you don't put Ronda Rousey in any movies. You don't have to worry about that. That Roadhouse remake ain't happening.
Oh, good. Okay.
WWE now. Her movie. First of all, she wasn't a good enough actress that when she stopped winning, they stopped. Like Gina Carano, she stopped winning, but they were like, well, whatever. But they don't need 2 Gina Caranos. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She's already filling the role, and they don't need another one of her. So I think Ronda made the right choice, but don't worry about anything that she was supposed to be doing.
Okay.
And what happened to the little Big Trouble in Little China remake that they were gonna make?
They're still doing it.
Now I heard it's not a remake anymore; it's a sequel.
Yeah. And like John Carpenter isn't like behind it, so they're just he said something along the lines of they basically just took The Rock, took the name of his property, slapped them together to make money.
See, that's weird that if John Carpenter had come in and said that, because literally you give that man a check of any money and he goes, yeah.
That's why it's probably not his property anymore. So that's why they could do that. Like with Halloween, I don't know if he owned, which I don't think he owned.
He don't own it.
But the Danny McBride, David Moon Green had the respect at least to bring him in the fold, I believe, and be like, hey, we want to do this. We'd love to have you incorporated. And he was like, yeah, I'm in, because he's like,
I'll be the first to say it, though. John Carpenter's an icon, but he's far from impeccable. He's got a very hit and miss, up and down career. So
Ghost like, from Mars.
Yeah, exactly. I'm all for, bringing him on, but I'm also all for tapering his ideas and having some new eyes on it and all that. Yeah. But I do hear they let him do the music, which I think is a fine idea.
Yeah, I'm going to see it. I just bought my tickets. I'm going to see it Thursday.
Yeah, I'll see it Friday. I had a weird one that was just like, because I got so mad about this sequel that everyone was talking about for years, and like even the actors were like, yeah, we would do it. If I saw Goonies 2, I would shit myself. And if I'd just be like, I had this weird idea that it would be like Goonies 2, The Asylum, and just like Sloth goes home with Chunk and ends up one night snapping and murdering the whole family because he was raised with criminals, and just having this like dark thing, and just be like hard R, go crazy with it.
Everything's ready now.
Yeah, we could just make a movie about like Robert Davi's time in jail.
We could do the Seventh Sense or the Sixth Element or 9 heads in a duffel bag.
Wait. Go back to the 9 heads in duffel bag. Because
Joe Pesci is coming back with the Irish man. The Irish.
We can make Deck the Halls again.
You can take anything Zed again to the end of it.
Just make Rick Moranis come back and act.
You're also proving you can pretty much just put returns on anything, and that's valid. Or resurrect.
Freddy got 2 fingers.
Yeah. He got finger.
Would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages?
I think of like everything I like ends up having a sequel, a shitty sequel. So it would be like Boogie Nights. If that had a sequel, it'd be like
I don't think
it's called Mark Wahlberg's second half of his career.
Damn, that was good.
It's just called Sleepy Nights.
He only sleeps for 2 hours a night. Didn't you read his fucking schedule?
I love the schedule though. It was like pick up the kids, have family time, go pray.
just cram everything into one.
Go yell at Donnie and make him clean underneath my car. Not the car, underneath the car.
Does
like that?
They should make a sequel to We Bought a Zoo. It would be like We Went Broke.
It doesn't money the zoo?
You have like
Kangaroo Jack again.
Ooh, I'd watch that. What's the one with David Arquette and the dog? C-Spot Run, but like C-Spot have to be euthanized. That was bad.
Oh, you stole Jusef's movie for the recommendation.
They should make a sequel to Aloha and name it Aloha.
And we'll cast even more white people.
Because it means the same, goodbye. And
I got it.
Actually, you know what would probably, if you can get Mary-Kate and Ashley to come back and do a movie.
2 New York minutes.
Yeah, 2 New York. No, man.
Where they were on the
Don't
boo that, Brian.
I want to know what was the one that. No, if I want a sequel to the one where they had the Dude Ranch, they were in the West. How the West was fun.
Ooh. Or what's the other one?
The West was fun again.
Yeah. It doesn't work because Toil and Trouble already has Devil in it.
This bit is off the rails.
All right. Well.
Is it though? Is it really off the rails? Because we could probably just spitball
Wizard of Oz
Yeah.
returns. See what I did there?
They did that though, right?
No, they said Return to Oz. I'm saying the Wizard of Oz returns. Like he comes back to the Wizard of Oz. And
I would put Forever in there though.
When I was like
Wizard of Oz Forever.
When I was 11, I wrote a sequel called E.T. Answers Back.
Do you still have this? Because I kind of want you to read it to us.
It's like 4 pages, but it's at least 22 words a page. that's pretty tight for an 11-year-old. But yeah, if I could find that, I'll definitely read it. It's definitely on a really cool notebook. Those ones where it was like a sports zombie. With that, does anyone else have any other sequel ideas that they would love to?
Yeah, I have a ton.
Throw it out there? Then throw it out there.
Schindler's List.
Don't
revisit it.
That's the one where like by a Holocaust denier, and it's just
he
like
looks at it and he was like, nope, that person wasn't
nothing
real.
else happened. That was it. It was
Just because you made a list doesn't mean it happened. I can make a list.
He got groceries for his family. That's all.
I go on BuzzFeed and I read lists all the time. It doesn't mean they're accurate.
Schindler's List. Fact check.
Now I gotta look to see Good Will Hunting. Oh, they already did Good Will Hunting 2 joke and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. God damn it. It's like the first thing that caught my eye. I was like, I can't even do that one. What if you could do
Returns?
Okay, well that works. You threw returns on it. Like we already said that would work. You can't.
Yeah, I know it's so good though.
Wind River
and bullets.
Howard the Duck returns.
Exactly.
I'll watch it.
Return.
Yes, he will. Don't you? You know what? You're discouraging and your negative attitude. That's why he wouldn't come back, because you're in Ohio, and guess where he went? Ohio.
I feel like TJ used to dream of Ohio being this great place because of Howard the Duck.
Did it
No,
look
he grew up watching
also-
Airborne though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Airborne.
you'd be like, wow, Cincinnati and Cleveland? Whoa.
Well, you guys
Is there
had
a Columbus movie?
what's that?
Well, Columbus, right? Isn't there one name? No, Gumbo. Isn't that in Columbus?
No, that's not in Columbus. Ohio.
Columbo back in the habit. One of my favorite movie sequel titles would have to be Charlie's Angels 2 Full Throttle.
Oh, we should. Yeah, what are the best sequel titles right now? We should be. God, Thor.
I watched this. It's a pretty. People would say it's a pretty terrible sequel, but I always liked The Rage Carrie 2. Remember that?
Yeah, that's a great one. I love that movie.
The Rage is a great name for a Carrie sequel, despite the quality of the movie or whatever.
And I was saying this a couple days ago. Well, Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings.
Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, of course.
One of the worst sequel titles. First Blood Part 2. That's so stupid. That's the stupidest goddamn thing.
One of the actors in the movie we watched was in The Next Karate Kid, which I always thought was a decent sequel name, and also a pretty decent movie with Hilary Swank. That was a good one.
I think the best.
Boys don't cry.
No, the best.
Deal.
The best sequel
Boys
name.
still don't cry.
The best sequel name is Aliens. Like they just added in.
Oh yeah,
What do we call it? Aliens.
Then forever you have to explain to dumb people, like, it's never enough. You always have to be like, they fuck it up. It's never enough to say aliens. They'll be like, you always have to be like, you mean the second one?
Yeah, you can't cater to dumb people, Brian.
The second one, the one that's called Aliens. And then you get like,
the first one only had one alien in it though, and this one has more. You get it?
right,
Aliens.
plural.
I bet whoever wrote it, he just stared at them after he read the title, like, and we name it Aliens. And he just,
Here you go, Brian. Here's a question for you. You're a fan of the sequels not more than the original, but I know you're a fan of these. What is the best Halloween sequel name?
Oh, The Curse of Michael Myers.
That's
For
the best,
sure.
Yeah.
For
I thought
sure.
you might have went 2-0 just because it kind of like it did work, but The Curse of Michael Myers works the
Well,
best.
it's weird because like Halloween, I think the actual name of everybody calls I think it's legitimately called Halloween 20 years later. H2O, yeah. So I think that one's too clunky, but I think The Curse of Michael Myers is an awesome sounding title.
Yeah.
Fucking like lazy. I don't know. 20 years later.
28 weeks later is very good.
That's a good one.
And then they could have got 28 months later. Why didn't
Yeah.
they do that if they did a third one?
28 years later, and they just kept going.
I mean, yeah, Batman Returns. I was just like, oh, Batman Returns was a great sequel name, but that's you just add
Step
Returns.
up to the streets.
Great.
Why didn't you know what dance movie I'm mad never had a sequel, or might have had a straight to DVD sequel? You Got Served.
You got served.
Definitely had
Dirty Dancing, Havana Nights.
Havana Nights.
Are you
Doesn't
So there.
That's Swayze make a cameo in that?
I'm there.
Thor: The Dark World? Oh wait, they're never ending.
No, the Marvel movies don't count because they're just like they don't put a 2. They don't have any fun with them.
All right, what about Never Ending Story 2: The Next Chapter?
Pretty lazy.
Okay, man. Now you're just getting real elitist on us.
Sister Act, back
Never-
in the habit.
How can it be the next? You know what I mean? Like that doesn't even make that. Again, that's you're into First Blood Part 2 territory now. Shit just doesn't even make any sense.
Do you wish that movies just went back to literally just numerals and just
Yes, sometimes.
No, all the time.
Sometimes I do also because it's just easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think like it's so like strategically for money, even though I just like know like like the superhero movies and Marvel movies and whatnot, because it fools people who aren't like intrigued in them. So you're just like if like it was like if like Avengers Infinity War was named Avengers 3, people would realize, oh, you know what, I have to see other fucking things.
You might lose people who were like, well, I haven't seen the other one, so I can't see this one. This way, they just walk in.
They can sneak it in like Too Fast, Too Furious.
Infinity War, and you had no idea, and you'd never seen a Marvel movie before. That shit would fuck you up.
It would just seem like a collection of scenes.
It would be an interesting experiment to just take somebody that's never seen a Marvel movie and just dropping him in Infinity War.
I mean, like, I could show you
just
my
stare at him.
Jusef, as someone who claims to see more movies than all of us,
I've never said that.
check him out on whyilovemovies.com. Do you think that these like sequel titles took over the tagline of movies? Because you know how like you'd have movies up to a point that have the title and have a great tagline. Now there's no more taglines. Just like
I think they still have them, but they don't promote them as they used to do. Like as you used to hear the tagline as part of what the voiceover guy read in the trailer almost.
Yeah.
And now the tagline is just if you're paying attention to the poster, you can catch the tagline. Back then, it used to be part of a huge promo.
Our movie later on that we will be discussing has 7 taglines. I will read them when we talk about it, just so you know.
But it depends on what cover you have.
Yeah, no, but there's still 7 taglines, TJ. We're not there yet.
Tag this. Okay. But yeah, no one's got any more sequel ideas? Good, because we could have kept going all night, and I'm glad. Yeah, we're done. With that being said, Jusef, take the reins, buddy.
So, last week, 2 weeks ago, I said to the guys that we needed to do some serious shit in this podcast, and I decided to, challenge myself and challenge the guys, and really. Sorry, let me compose myself because this is a lot. But I wanted to put a movie trivia show around horror, and I told the guys, really ignore your family, ignore your friends, ignore anything and everything because movie trivia is the end all be all for this podcast. So, without further ado, I want you guys to pick a number. Brian, pick a number between 1 and 3 because I don't want people to say that I chose the questions. I want this, the show to have integrity, and I don't want nobody to question that I rigged this game in favor of anybody. Okay, between 1 and 3.
2.
2. Right. Let me set it up. Okay, Joe, between 1 and 3.
I'll go 3.
Okay. So TJ, you have 1. So we're gonna go. Since I asked Brian first, I'll go Brian, Joe, and then TJ. So what I want to do, I'm gonna read one question each. That way you can guys see where you're at. Just so you know. Each question is worth 3 points. If you choose to go to multiple choice, it's worth 2 points. Are you guys ready?
Yeah,
I need verbal
I
confirmation.
want to tell you all, the Suburban Warrior is ready to do this thing. I'm ready to hit this. I'm to do this. I'm about this trivia life. Real quick though, I just want you guys check out my portfolio. I found this in my mom's basement. I got a couple drawings in here. I thought maybe if you want to DM me, you could pick up a couple of sweet copies of my work. Just hit me up. Very reasonable prices, guys. All right, let's do this.
Wait a minute. Now that you said that, I'm gonna get back at you. I'm gonna make some sandwiches. I'm gonna take care of your wife and maybe your children. And I know my trivia. And they call me the trivia master, but they also call me kind of the white bread of this organization. Now,
Well, the
if you
Suburban
guys would like
Warrior,
to subscribe to my Patreon,
my name was, is ready for you, man. Let's do this trivia
all
thing.
right, subscribe to my Patreon, and I'll shout you out.
Look, guys, enough of the trash talk. Let's just get to. I'm just ready to go. I'm serious now. I'm done with everything around us. Let's get into this.
But that laser-like focus on TJ's face, man. He's like,
we have TJ,
like a ninja.
All right, guys.
Wow.
Let's get ready to SmackDown. All right. First question is to Brian. All of them are under the category of horror. There was a fourth category that was paid by our patron. He paid $500, but since nobody chose number 4, I'm not gonna recognize his effort and money. All right, so Brian, what movie does these characters belong to? Bobby Carter, Doug Wood, Ruby, Brenda Carter. Remember, you have the choice of multiple choice.
The Hills Have Eyes.
That is correct. Joe.
Yes.
How does the killer in Black Christmas calls his victims?
Can I use a BTI rule?
Oh, he needs a repeat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wrote the rules and I don't remember them. All right, so how does the killer in Black Christmas call his victims?
Multiple choice.
So I'm sorry. This is a lot. I believe in you, Joe. I know you.
Multiple choice.
All right.
He's worked so damn hard, Jusef. I'm really impressed by what you've put together here, man.
You know, when you're under the lights,
I think we can all appreciate. Let's all raise a glass to Jusef and the hard work he's put in here on this show tonight.
So, what
are the choices? Are Ange, Amy, Angela, or Mary?
Mary.
Incorrect. It was Ange.
All
right, TJ.
Before you ask, I'm sorry, Jusef. Can I make sure, because I'm so into this right now, and I don't want anyone cheating. I want to see everyone's hands on the screen. Make sure Brian's not googling anything. Joe's not googling. Guys, so let's make sure we go like this the whole time.
But I need to. What about my drink? Can I hold my drink up?
You can hold your drink up.
See, I cut myself because I was so into trivia. I hit my hand.
When you watch a horror movie, how are you supposed to feel?
What kind of question is that? Scared.
3 points, man. That was tough. Good pull. Good pull.
Shout out to our writers. Patreon helps pay for the people who write those questions. Shout out to that.
It really is an effort. You know what? You don't understand when you're under the lights and you've actually never seen that movie. Oh man, it's just the pressure just crumbles you.
Just okay. For the people at home, just think about watching a movie and then remembering what happened. I can't do it. That's why I'm the host. That's just. So, all right.
It's a special skill. It's a special set of skills that only certain people have. It's true. Those people need to be acknowledged.
Yeah. So, currently, 3-3. Joe, you have 0.
Fine.
Second question for Brian. Invasion of the Body Snatchers came out, the remake, sorry. It's important because we all know, they know that there's more than one. But the remake, what year did it came out?
people might not know there's actually a few remakes of this movie.
Yeah.
So because of that, I think I'm gonna have to go multiple choice.
Multiple choice.
Easy.
It's a brave decision. All right.
You got to play the game. You know what I mean? You got to play your odds.
You're a veteran of this. So A, 1988. B, 1968. C, 1978. D, 1975.
I'm going with 1978.
That is correct. 2 points.
You sack of shit.
All right, guys. Take a breather.
My hand, look at my hand, man. Look at my hand. It's shaking. Is my high def camera picking this up?
All right, Joe.
Yeah.
What is the name of the town in A Nightmare Before? I'm sorry. I'm just nervous. What is the name of the town in A Nightmare on Elm Street?
Oof.
I'm sorry, Joe. I'm gonna have to cut you down.
Ooh.
5, 4.
Ooh. You know what? Give me multiple choice, please.
Playing the game.
Playing the
All right.
game.
That's the second one, correct? That's the second one.
No, everybody has multiple choice in their question.
You can use multiple choice on any question, but you only get repeats. You only have a certain number of repeats.
Yeah.
You only have 25 repeats.
Also, did we establish the challenge rule?
The challenge is I'm challenged reading wise. So there's the challenge rule right there. Like I'm struggling here reading. So that's enough.
Well, you've got tears in your eyes, so it's hard to.
It gets blurry. So you got what is the name of the town of Nightmare on Elm Street? You got A, Woodsboro, B, Springwood, C, Georgetown, or D, Haddonfield.
Woodsboro.
Incorrect, Joe.
That's the one from Scream. It's Springwood.
I thought I had those two confused. And I'm really
the Springwood slasher, man.
Yeah. That's a tough question.
Ooh, tough crowd. Tough crowd.
Tough question. All right.
He calls himself a Nightmare on Elm Street fan. What a loser.
Second.
Come at me, trolls. I'll block you all.
I thought horror was his strength. I thought that was one of his strong categories.
Oh, jeez.
All right. This is gonna be a tough one for TJ. All right, TJ. Where does Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan take place?
Are we talking percentage of runtime or?
He has a blindfold on. He's serious.
This one's for you. New York.
That's correct. Oh my God, TJ. All right, TJ.
I want to challenge. that. That movie takes place 80% on a boat on its way to New York.
Yeah, mostly it should be Jason in the Hudson.
Jason takes a leisurely boat ride to Manhattan. Should be the name of that movie.
It's actually the prequel to Moscow on the Hudson.
That's order. I'm gonna regroup with my judges, and we'll be right back. Okay.
It says Manhattan.
Hey man. I know it's the name of the movie, but that's not the question. The question is, where does it take place?
So I looked at my wife, and she gave me a very confused look, and we both agreed that it is correct. It is New York.
Respect the game. Respect the game.
So Brian loses his challenge. All right, so right now TJ's in the lead, 6-5, and Joe is trailing hard behind. But we've seen him always in the behind. He likes to play from the behind. So he can always come back. All right, Brian. Who directed The Last House on the Left?
Wes Craven.
That is correct. 3 points.
I mean, why don't you just throw him a softball or what? You know what I mean?
Hey, we can't all get the Springwood question.
It was random, okay? It was random. You all picked the numbers. All right. Joe. Black Sabbath was directed by?
Black Sabbath?
Yes.
Why the fuck do I have all these questions? Multiple choice.
I gotta do this.
All right. A, John Carpenter. B, Dario Argento. C, Mario Bava. Or D, George A. Romero.
Dario Argento?
That's incorrect, Joe. I'm so sorry. It was Mario Bava. Obviously.
Obviously.
Someone come get this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, geez. I'm
Are you
floundering.
in the right place? I mean, how much did you pay to get on here, buddy? I mean, what was your Patreon donation?
Actually, I did pay a good whopping $2,000 to be here today.
I'm sorry.
I'm actually
Joe,
very
no. Wait. Under our contract, we said you cannot bring this up.
Fair.
The lights. They got me.
All right,
Stress.
TJ. They've been complaining that I've been giving you softballs.
Okay.
Here comes a tough one. Name a horror movie, any horror movie, starring Robert Englund. Just take a deep breath, okay? I know. You can do it, man. I believe.
Could you? I don't want to.
From an outside perspective, can I just talk about like what this guy has been through, his road to get here today? I mean, the adversities he has faced, the competitors he's gone up against. It's really a thing of beauty. I mean, no matter what happens here today, I just respect him so much as a competitor.
And on top of all of that, he's ginger too. I mean, it's incredible what he's doing.
I appreciate it, guys. But I know what you guys are trying to do. You're trying to get in my head right now. But I've dug down. I think I had this before the. Can I get a repeat?
All right. Name a horror movie starring Robert Englund.
He's really struggled his way up here. I mean, just.
I got it. Urban Legend.
That is correct. I also would have taken Zombie Strippers and Hatchet.
Oh, I knew I had those in there. I could just my gut.
He's really more of a cameo in Hatchet, to be fair. I mean, I would have to challenge that. That's not really a starring role.
I mean, like,
I'm glad we didn't have to go down that road. I mean, as much as I respect TJ as a competitor, I will like the game is above all else. I have to keep the games clean.
I one time said Brad Dourif starred in Urban Legends, and you took that point away.
That's true.
Right.
Like, come on. I mean, like, let's be real here. Are cameos starring?
That's true. I'm sorry.
I mean, just because the guy wears a blindfold doesn't mean he's some sort of outlaw.
We didn't have to go there, all right? We don't have to make another rule for it. So, right now, it's pretty much either Brian or TJ, but I'm going to keep asking Joe the questions because he has the heart of a competitor, and I don't want him to go out like this, okay?
Great.
So, Brian, you have 8 points. TJ, you have 9 points. Fourth question, Brian. What is the name of the android who destroyed Jason in Jason X?
Damn. Oh, I can picture her, and I can see her weird nippleless boob. I'm gonna have to go multiple choice again. I'm gonna have to go multiple choice.
That nippleless boob comment is why you are #1 challenger, right?
You're heathen.
Hey, that's why the suburban warrior is here. He doesn't take any prisoners. He does take donations on his Patreon though, and he does take DMs. If you want to get some of that sweet art, you just hit me up, man. I'm just out here trying to do my thing.
Why don't you respect women at all? The nippless boob comment.
All right, this is a trivia show, not a political show, Joe. All right, so what is the name of the android who destroyed Jason in Jason X? We got A, Kinza, B, Sunaro, C, KM, D, K10.
I think it's K10.
I'm sorry, Brian. KM.
It's KM. Oh man.
I want to ask my number together.
That's the writers throwing you a curveball right there. Again, props to the writers.
That's what they get paid for. That's what they get paid for.
They Google movie trivia and they paste it into a spreadsheet.
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes you have to even look somewhere that's not IMDb.
No.
So it's like, I mean, there's like a lot to it.
I bet there. I mean, at least somebody's watching them on Prime and then clicking on trivia. Like it's a lot. So all right, Joe, come on, you're in the 0. You can at least get some points here.
Hey, I'm in reaching distance now. I mean, like with that stumble, I mean, that's just.
Hey, Joe, you answered this right. I got 8 guys you could join.
Oh, I get it. All right, so Joe, who is the main antagonist of the Grudge franchise? No shame in the game by picking the multiple choice, buddy. No shame.
So that dead little Asian kid. What's his name? You know what? Let's go a little multiple choice.
All right, Joe. Is it A, Kayako, B, Sadako, C, Tamara, or D, Toshio?
Fuck. Can I get a repeat on those, please?
All right, I'm gonna do it, but in my special voice this time. Who is who's the main antagonist in the Girls and franchise? Get to the chopper. Is it A, Kayako, B, Sadako, C, Tamara, or D, Toshio?
We go with Toshibo.
I'm so sorry, Joe. It's Kayako. Oh,
I think I need to challenge in Joe's favor now. Because how do you say which ghost is the protagonist or the antagonist? They both are.
Yeah, let's bring that to the judges. I mean, what do I got to lose?
Both Toshiro and Kayako are both antagonists in that movie. I think that question is flawed. As much as I respect the game, I respect the commissionership, I respect the judges, I respect the writers, I respect all our Patreons. I just want to say, put it out there. I just want to challenge this on Joe's behalf.
I'm gonna go on record and say I'm with your call, Jusef. I think you're right.
It would be fantastic.
This guy's just bootlicking the commissioner over here. He's just trying to get an upper hand.
Brian, you already lost your challenge. So this is a mute.
I would like the challenge.
I will accept Joe's challenge. Give me, I'm gonna again look at my wife.
Hey, in the meantime, check out Flyover Heroes, Flyover Sports, and Flyover Daily. We just shoot the shit.
Hey,
check out Flyover Wrestling. We're about to talk wrestling all the time. Wrestling.
Did you guys promote Flyover Golf?
Oh, no, I promoted sports, but I forgot we're spinning off golf, MMA, and also synchronized swimming. They're all getting their own show every week.
I'm actually getting into curling myself. Check out my new show on my Patreon.
So my wife shrugged at me, so I'm gonna give you guys a second question.
Okay.
So there's no.
That's tight.
Tight. There's no. I don't want controversy because this is a serious sport, serious game. And I don't want people saying
respect the game, man. Respect the game.
We gotta respect it. All right. So Joe, between 1 and 10, because I have 10 extra questions. Pick a number.
6.
All right. Joe, this is your question. What is Freddy's nickname?
Springwood Slasher.
That is correct. You get 3 points.
I'm kind of sorry I said that earlier.
Sometimes the game comes back and gets you.
It's true.
Back in.
It's true.
All right, TJ, are you ready for your fourth question? Let's just to set the mood right now.
Go.
Brian has 8 points. You have 9 points. You can really command a lead in this question. You can really command a lead.
Audience, please. I need you guys to take this seriously.
Hey. Settle down.
He's traveled so much to be here. I mean, just every question.
Meryl Streep.
Go here for the belts.
Meryl Streep.
All the belts, none of the records.
All right, TJ, are you ready? I'm sorry. Are you ready?
Yes. I'm sorry.
I need verbal communication. I mean, I'm blind in this eye.
See.
In the movie franchise, Urban Legend, the killer based his killings around what?
He's fought so hard to be here. Every question's like a bullet that just pierces through his skin.
The toll this competition takes on a man.
Sometimes I go hours without thinking about a movie.
4, 3, 2.
Urban Legends.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry, no.
What did you say?
Urban Legends.
That is correct. Wow.
Pure focus.
Pitch perfect game.
The pure focus from the
Oh my god,
deputy.
I can't believe I'm witnessing this. I've never witnessed a pitch perfect game so far. I don't want to jinx you. One more question to go.
Wow.
Brian, are you ready?
I mean, I feel just honored to get to play in the same game with these guys. So I mean, just like bearing witness to this. I mean, I'm gonna carry this game with me for a long time.
All right, here you go. Your last question. In a formidable, an impressive outing on your part. Nothing. I'm not gonna take anything away from you. What is the priest that appears most in the Exorcist franchise? In the Exorcist franchise?
Jane Fonda.
Your mind games aren't going to work on me, Joe.
What's the Exercise franchise?
The Exercise franchise.
You need a repeat because I boggled that question.
Okay, all right. Go ahead and give me a repeat.
That's fair. What is the name of the priest
Second BTI rule.
that appeared most in the Exorcist franchise? I'm gonna count you down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Father Karras.
That is incorrect.
It's over.
I'm so sorry.
I win.
TJ won, but you know, just because wait. Just because I wanna witness
Cranberries.
what I've never witnessed before.
Cranberries.
It's perfect game.
I knew that wasn't right, but I got panicked and I didn't want to give up the extra point. Oh man.
Brian, everybody calm down. I know that technically the game is over, but since TJ has been, training so hard, I want to give him the opportunity of giving a pitch perfect game.
Cranberries.
I'm gonna ask him the last question, if you guys permit me.
I took my blindfold off.
I wouldn't want to miss this.
Yeah, you go on. I mean, like you deserved it. You earned it, TJ.
Name
set
a movie.
record.
Name a movie that has a killer doll in it.
Ooh, this is a tough one.
Yeah,
You think, Joe? Dolly Dearest.
wow. That was. I'm gonna challenge that because. Wait. Does that count?
Is that a real movie?
It is a real movie.
It is a real movie, but I'm not sure.
Listen. Our fact checkers and our dedicated fans have gathered the data and crunched all the numbers.
I'm seeing a picture of the doll with a knife. She is a killer.
Has set so many records tonight that I'm just going to leave it for fans on
singles
Twitter.
point record for sure.
You can catch Brian.
He's probably in line. He's probably in line for a title win or title shot off of this.
TJ has the single records, the ginger record, the white people record, and the horror franchise record.
You could catch Brian and I in teams division.
Absolutely.
Where we're competing. We have a title shot next week. Who knows what's going to happen, but I think we're going to beat the Direwolves.
Yeah,
so,
the Steelers. We're the Steelers. Yeah. We're going to steal those titles, baby.
Yeah. So
skid marks.
Jeez, it's just trivia just gets in my head, and I just obsess over it. This loss is going to haunt me for weeks.
Now that you guys, I want to give you just questions, and somebody just yelled them out because I know that you have all that trivia in your nuts.
Pent up, just like I get trivia blue balls. Yeah.
Great.
Just so you can just explode that trivia out.
Thank you for the opportunity, Jusef.
No
I mean, like, I walked the ground. I kissed the
Yeah,
ground.
I mean, Jusef, again, it can't be said enough. What you've built here is just so impressive. The way you've like asked questions and then checked if the answers were right or whatever. There's a lot to it.
My mom asks me what I do and what I'm proud of, and I tell her this, and then she just tells me to move out. So I don't really.
I'm still working on it.
This is where I thrive.
All right, so
it's a hard business. Also, make sure I'm fucking first on your call sheet because I will murder you.
all right. So anybody yell out their name? Who wants to answer this one? What is the name of the book from the Evil Dead franchise? Joe got it.
Necronomicon.
Yeah. All right. In the first Scream, what was Stu's motivation to kill?
It was to show that movies make killers more creative.
No.
Oh.
Anybody?
I didn't hear the end of the question.
What is in the first Scream? What is Stu's motivation to kill?
Peer pressure.
Yeah.
TJ, peer pressure. Thank you.
That's why you're the champ, man. That is why you're the champ. All right. How old was Jason Voorhees when he drowned in Crystal Lake?
Brian. He was 12.
No.
I don't know.
TJ. 10.
No.
Joe. 7.
No. 11.
Damn it.
I do like 7-Eleven though.
Yeah. All right. What is the name of the boy Laurie is babysitting in Halloween?
TJ.
Brian.
TJ.
Tommy Doyle.
Yeah.
Boo, boo. That was me. I was on that. My button. Where's my button?
What is Chucky's real name?
Joe.
Brian.
Joe.
Charles Lee Ray.
Yeah.
This is some bullshit. Right. This is some bullshit.
We got 2 more. 2 more and I'm done. What is Pinhead also known as?
Joe.
Go ahead, Joe.
Hellraiser.
No.
Brian. A Cenobite.
No. It's him specifically, not the race. No way.
Never mind. You know what? I don't respect this game anymore. I'm about to cut a promo on you motherfuckers like you ain't never seen before. You whack ass bitch tricks. I don't need this shit. Think I need this fucking game? I'm gonna go out. I got a career, man. I'm making moves out there. I'm doing panels. I'm selling art. I'm on this shit. I don't need this.
I think you should actually you should have starred in the Orca film. There was a character just like you.
All right, now that we're talking horror, how are we talking about horror franchises?
Yeah, let's talk about some decades, guys, in horror. Let's Brian, figure what's your topic for this week, bud?
Yeah. I mean, we can keep this one kind of short because I know we're running long off the game, and it was worth it.
Respect the game, bro.
Respect the game. But I did want to just real briefly, and I thought of this idea all by myself. I thought it was really smart and good, and I came up with it. So I want to talk about, what do you think is the best decade for horror movies? Go ahead, TJ, you're the host. Why don't you start?
Oh yeah. So I figured I'd stick out with the 90s because that's the majority of the horror movies that I grew up with myself. But the 90s has like an awesome mix of like teen, what a lot of people consider classics, and like these weird thriller twist type horrors where the genre kind of got mix and match for intellectual thrillers, horrors, stuff like that. But like teen horrors is where 90s like makes their money. You got the Scream movies, I Know What You Did Last Summer, The Faculty, The Craft, the Halloween late movies, H2O.
And H2O. Like also, I talked about earlier, The Rage Carry 2, totally a product of the post-Scream horror era.
Even Pet Cemetery too, like those type of movies.
The most quintessential 90s horror film would definitely have to be Ernest Scared Stupid.
Oh, perfect.
It elevated the genre to levels that you wouldn't even know. I mean, when they started spraying like Lactaid on the fucking troll,
If we're talking horror and also pseudo horror, I gotta shout out one of my favorite from the '90s, underrated classic, the Peter Jackson's The Frighteners. Like
so
kind of a lost Michael J. Fox role. It's so good, and in an era where we're bereft of great Michael J. Fox. We only have so much. Like, you got to find these little morsels and seek them out. And The Frighteners is one that doesn't get enough praise from that era. And it's a perfect Halloween movie. Like, tonally, it's scary, like legitimately scary at times, but also a lot of fun and kind of silly. So it like feels very much, even though it's not set at Halloween, I always talk about it as a Halloween movie. That reminds me, last year at Halloween, I did a DVD bunker on it. You could go listen to that on this channel. If you're listening to this on audio, you can scroll around and find the Frighteners DVD bunker episode. It's really good.
Brian is on this podcast to just promote his other podcast.
My favorite DVD bunker episode that I have, you can catch me on the DVD bunker episode where we talk Candyman. There's one about that, and actually I think that is one of the most underrated 90s horror films.
And also, we talked sequels earlier. I think the first Candyman sequel is pretty good. The Farewell to the Flesh. It's very solid.
That's a great name too.
It's good sequel name also. One of the rare movies that actually scare you is Candyman. At least when I was a kid.
No, it's still pretty fucking creepy.
Well, I think because like all the like background of Candyman, it makes it kind of a more powerful feeling villain. Like it feels like real stakes with the Candyman. Like he really does feel like he was with Freddy, you know. It's like, yeah, but he was a child murderer. I don't get, Candyman you kind of almost feel bad for, and then he's like the hero.
Yeah. Like there's reports that it's being remade, and Jordan Peele's going to produce it, so people are excited. And this is what I think whenever I fucking
as long as
hear
Tony Todd gets that cameo, baby.
Yeah. So whenever I hear so-and-so is going to produce a movie like that, I think, okay, that's meaningless.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about it.
Like, it's just they put money into it. But,
I'd say it's getting better. Like it used to be, they really would slap a name. They'd slap Quentin Tarantino on anything and try to sell it. Now it's getting a little more like, you can have a little more confidence in the, when a name
Spielberg presents.
But
now they kind of
right.
They push like what they produced right before this. So if it was success, like okay, they were on It, or they were on a Blumhouse. Like that's like with like with the '90s too. Regardless, like the teen horror and the classics, like the Candyman and like New Nightmares and stuff like that, it had that weird comedic horror of like Army of Darkness, Dead Alive, Dusk Till Dawn, Idle Hands, like that awesome. You consider it a horror movie, but you can laugh. Even like Arachnophobia with like Jeff Daniels and John Goodman, like horror went into the fear of spiders, but definitely had a comedic sense to it. And like those type of movies, like that's like
Tremors would be there, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's work our way back down because I know, Joe, why don't you tell us about your horror decade that you picked?
Yeah, I did the 80s. I mean, sorry from even though I couldn't get the town right. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, Aliens, Halloween 2, fucking
so many
Hellraiser.
Icons in the 80s too.
Yeah, the 80s. Like I think when people think of horror right now, they want to go back to where the 80s were, like Brian, you were trying to say, like with the icons and whatnot. And it was such a good decade for horror, but effects also. I mean, the fact that The Thing came out of the 80s and it's the pinnacle of special effects and still like a pretty fucking terrifying movie.
My personal favorite, Jason, Friday the 13th Part 7, the one where he fights Carrie. Love the practical Jason effect. Like his makeup in that one is one of my favorites. You can see like his spine through his back and stuff, and like there's joints and bones. Like he's real zombied out. And I was like, I always thought that was a really standout 80s, horror kind of practical effect villain.
And
I want to shout out
interesting again.
That is interesting.
The American and Werewolves in London.
Yeah.
The practical effects in that movie is breathtaking. Like
even the Howling. The Howling's got some pretty impressive werewolf effects.
Not even the 80s practical effects. That's where it also started getting like
also
spoof. Like you're able to like have this like meta. These movies have these like meta like spoof commentary on it that wasn't so like obvious like something like in the 90s with Scream, where that's what the pinnacle of meta. But you have like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, where it's a straight comedy.
But if you wanna go good commentary, and I actually recently watched it, is Fright Night They make fun of a lot of the culture that it was obsessed with vampires and the myths and all that fun stuff. And the practical effects in that movie too is crazy.
And Fright Night's one of the few, I mean, different decade, and this would go on someone else's, but one of the few remakes
solid.
that hold up. That I thought that was a good
I
remake.
enjoyed the remake a lot. Colin Farrell's pretty good. The Vampire.
Did you mention The Shining? Because if you're not,
no, I didn't. But you're
That's true. It does
That
sneak
is
right in there because it's 80. Is it 80 or 81?
81, I think.
Yeah, it's
80.
early.
80. It's 80, not 81.
Is it? It sneaks
Evil-
right in there. Though.
Evil Dead.
The Lost Boys is another good vampire movie.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Poltergeist.
I was gonna push this back TJ style, and 87 because you're talking about American Werewolf in London and The Howling. Monster Squad has one of the most underrated werewolf transformations in the telephone booth on film.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so for like that type, I mean, it's a horror. You know, it's up there with like a horror kids weird coming of age film, but like still than that, it's like. Yeah, like that's like an awesome like werewolf, mummy. You get those classic monsters, but brought up in the 80s. Yes, there's a lot of dialogue that's questionable, but other than that, like that werewolf transformation, Wolfman Got Nards, A+.
It's a solid decade for horror.
And there's a bunch of underrated ones too that just go without mention, like Videodrome or Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. Like,
oh no, that movie is just straight up unsettling.
So I think that's the difference between like your 80s horror, a majority, and your something like more your 70s horror and 60s horror. If you want to get into there, is it started getting that like best word I can describe is it was like oozing like a vibe and whatnot, and like most of that 70s 60s horror is just bone chilling.
Think about it this way, like
it feels haunted. No 80s horror movie like feels haunted. They're just fun and good.
Think about it this way, like 80s and 90s, when you're walking through a blockbuster, they lived on what you saw on the cover. It was almost like clickbait. Like it was like pre-clickbait, like walking through blockbuster and be like, what? Dead Alive's like opening cover of the girl pulling her mouth open. The skull.
You remember April Fool's Day with the girl with her hair tied in the noose and the knife behind her back? Like every kid saw that shit in the fucking video store. I don't care who you were, you know that shit caught your eye. That was a great cover.
Silent Night, Deadly Night with fucking Santa's hand coming out with the axe. Like
it didn't matter what it said, as long as the cover grabbed you right away. You were like Dolly Dearest, like going back to the fight. Like I remember that goddamn cover till the day I
remember that cover.
Yeah, it's like one of those weird things you pass through. But like you were saying, like 70s, Jusef, like what you got with that?
Yeah. Moving on to the 70s. We're just working our way down.
So
back into the classics.
Back it up.
I like what Joe said about the 70s feeling more haunted, because that's definitely why I picked the 70s. Because while there's a few in the 80s and the 90s that can get to me, I mostly watch them for like, you know, either the cheese factor or the effects or the creativity. But if I wanna be disturbed or scared, I go back to the 70s and I watch like the Exorcist. But let me just break them down in categories. Like what I like is it's not that they just did horror movies. It's like they did types of horror movies that has been like exploited and exploded after the 70s. Like you have the demon movies, which is demon/devil movies, which is The Omen and The Exorcist.
Omen's one of my favorites. I love The Omen.
Those movies get me the most. Like that's 70s. Okay, when you said that, like that's the first.
The Omen, Amityville Horror is a big one for me from the 70s.
I would say
Carrie is a huge one for me too.
Amityville Horror is one of the ones that don't connect with me, but.
And then you have slasher movies like Black Christmas, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and The Big Guy, which is Halloween. And you can even sneak in like Last House on the Left, which is more revenge horror. Yeah. But she still tracks them down and kills them all like a slasher.
Last House on the Left though is so disturbing because if you have not seen that, like to anyone listening, if you've not seen Last House on the Left and go to watch it, it's not the movie you're thinking it is in your head.
No.
Just the way it's shot and everything.
It's got that kind of Texas Chainsaw Massacre feel where it's almost like documentary style. It's so grimy and realistic feeling, like
then you have that
like somebody's just following really horrible people around with a cheap camera.
Then you have that weird fucking country music in that movie.
That's true.
That's always what I remember from it. That you're watching it and this weird shit's going on, but fucking twangy country is playing.
Yeah,
I feel like the thing with 70s, I don't mean to cut you off, Jusef. But like something about 70s and like us, none of us, not we weren't born in the 70s, but something about watching horror movies from the 70s seems more realistic. I don't know what it is with the graininess.
That's what I was gonna say actually. It's because now they look so slick and sheen. So the production value is so good that you're hyper aware that you're watching a fantasy. You're watching somebody that was constructed in a movie studio or in a writer's room. And when you watch, especially Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that when they're having that dinner scene and they're just screaming and the girl's just going crazy and the camera's just hyper cutting next. You're in that room with them and you're just going crazy with them as the camera just won't stop cutting from one guy screaming to the next. And that wouldn't happen now. Like even a movie that recently like disturbed me, but in a different sense, Hereditary, I was appreciating the production value. Like everything looked like it looked like they were living in a dollhouse, which was part of the storyline because the mom was recreating the figures. Yeah. But even though that I was disturbed by the family drama and that ever presence of the demon, I wasn't scared, or I wasn't like this could be real.
But the thing is, like the closest thing that of today would for me that comes to that realness and you're so creeped out is The Conjuring, and that's mimicking all that stuff from the 70s.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, I think too that's probably why like found footage became a big thing. Yeah. Was like kind of a way to like try to get back to that realistic feel of like, trying to make something that had that same kind of grit to it. So I think that could have helped explain like why found footage found a foothold so strongly in horror. Like in all the different genres they've tried found footage movies, horror is the one that really sticks. And I think that probably has a little bit to do with it. For the last one, I won't spend too much time on mine. My decade was our current decade, the 2010s. I think we're definitely in a horror renaissance. Not to say that there hasn't been quality movies before, obviously there has, but I think what this last decade has finally done is kind of legitimized horror. We're finally getting to a point where people respect horror films and horror filmmakers and are interested in like using that medium to tell more, or not that they haven't always been doing it, but they're like now critics and mass audiences are more accepting of having their stories told to them in this way, whereas before they weren't ever taken that seriously. And I mean, obviously I could rattle off good ones that people like, and
I wanted to jump on what you're saying. Like they're just not using horror as an umbrella. They're using like horror adjacent, because Get Out technically is a horror movie, but it's more drama, more
it's like a social thriller. It's like and Hereditary is like a horror movie, but it's also dealing with themes of mental illness and families struggling with loss and stuff. So they're not that horror movies always didn't have. There were always horror movies that were doing that, but now people are becoming more open to like experiencing that on more mass marketable level.
Also, I think you have filmmakers now that are back to not just like trying to harp on reliving the movies they watched. Like you're in a new era where people are like, I want to tell stories. Like the horror filmmakers are telling stories again and not just trying to
proved itself with like, not to knock on 2010s, not at all, because you are right, it has its place with horror films and stuff like that. But when they try to go back to the 80s, that they've proven with Friday the 13th and what they did with that story, and they did too much with the child aspect background. Then they went back to Friday the 13th. They did too much with his background. It's like, let those type of things go. Let them grow organically.
Right. Tell your own stories. Make your own Yeah.
We'll see with Halloween if that works, but like with 2010s, like you have amazing horror films that actually open up a whole new. It's tough because like people call it genre, but like it opens up a whole new world of being like more psyche or more body.
The witch is a study on how religion or faith can destroy your family. And my favorite is the Babadook, which is 100% a story about depression and how her mom was just keeping the depression in the basement.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you got stuff like It Follows. You got stuff like Cabin in the Woods that kind of like to pull the genre back again. You know what I mean? So
one of our favorites, Behind the Mask.
Yeah, Behind the Mask is 2007. Technically outside my
2010.
But yes, it's amazing.
But it's close enough to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's within 10. It's almost within 10 years of now.
The Conjuring.
Yes.
Yeah. And even you can The Conjuring, even though I don't think all the spin-offs have been good, but technically the Conjuring franchise, the only really currently successful cinematic universe outside of Marvel, so you got to give them that. Like they're adapting, whereas so many movie studios and franchises and genres have stumbled trying to adapt that.
I don't
Looking
know
at
what
you, Dark Universe.
I don't know what you're talking about.
did it without, almost effortlessly.
I don't know what you're talking about. The Dark Universe is thriving.
As it's like it's hidden gems, VHS.
VHS is great. Although I didn't think the sequels were.
Nah, they got.
But they have movies in between those films that you're finding. Like Don't Breathe, like those movies. I love.
Don't Breathe is great. Yeah. I'll tell you, the Evil Dead remake came out this decade, and that is an excellent horror movie.
Fede Alvarez.
Yeah. He did a great job.
I enjoyed the Blair Witch. Sequel.
I like Blair Witch too. It was the reboot. I enjoyed it too.
Right.
But I get why people didn't. That's one of those ones like I like it, but that's not a hill I'm gonna die on or anything. I get it,
talking about hills that you want to die on. How about we talk about the hill TJ wants to die on? Airborne.
Look, man, I've
been putting this off. I was just gonna keep talking and hope we would just forget about talking about Airborne.
Can I say something before we start? I hope this recording goes through because currently I just peeked. YouTube is down. And we're on a private stream, but I hope it has caught this.
Okay.
We can report it again exactly the same.
It probably shut down during trivia. Like we were just brought it too hard.
Honestly,
YouTube was like, "Nope, we can't have this."
You care so much.
Well, I cut all this out no matter what. We can figure this out. So I figured I'd bring you guys into my life and my joy when I was a 8-year-old kid, and I had the dope haircut. We're split in the middle, like young Leo DiCaprio.
Oh, you had Seth Green's haircut?
No, I had the main guy's haircut. His name is Mitchell Guzin. I brought you guys back to 1993.
What a horrible name. Who thought that was a good name for a main character?
Introduce the movie, TJ.
Guzin.
Now I feel personally attacked. I brought you guys into Airborne, goddamn it, 1993. The story about a young man who wanted to just surf and just gnar out, bruz. You know what I mean? But he got sent to Cincinnati.
I will say he was on that bruh thing. He knew he was ahead of the curve.
But why didn't his family just say, "Yeah, there's schools in Australia"?
Right?
Because that isn't the story. The first note I wrote to this goddamn movie,
also, Australia has some of the best beaches for surfing in the whole world. Yeah. And they're like, hey, our kid loves to surf. Bye, go to Cincinnati while we go to the world surfing capital. Peace.
Can I read these 7 taglines?
No, God, first off, this movie has a solid story and the plausibility is 100% A+. Now, it's a story about a kid who lives in California. His parents...
Plausibility, a bunch of 40-year-olds in high school.
Yeah. Hey, you shut your mouth, God damn it! And
the brother, the guy who... And also, who's the villain of this movie? Is it the brother? Is it the preppy?
No,
who's the bad guy?
No, it's every person of color.
So no one. There's no bad guys there. Yeah.
It's literally...
This movie is the shining example as to why we need representation.
Hey, he's Hispanic and he loves knives, man.
Okay, stop. Let me ask Jusef. Can I ask you two questions? Two questions, real
Were
fast.
you offended? Yes. Was this racist?
No.
Yes.
Joe, no, that wasn't my question. Jusef, do you collect knives?
I do not.
Do
Well,
you
actually, that's a lie. That's a lie. I have 2 knives. Is what? How much knives before it's a collection?
But is it a hobby?
What's plural?
No,
Knives.
it's not a hobby.
Okay, fine. So, do you tattoo the foreheads of guys you don't like?
No,
Then you definitely got misinterpreted in this movie. So yes, you're not wrong.
I mean that's not even the problem.
Also, did anybody notice what's it?
Jack
Jack Black
Black
has kind of a Hispanic sounding name too.
Yes.
He goes by Augie, but he's got like a
Raphael.
I don't know, a very complicated.
Garcia Parra.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
It's
He doesn't
cool.
look very ethnic.
This
I'll-
movie
I'll
was
take-
written for someone
I'll
else.
take Jack Black as a Latino.
Guys, it was Cincinnati in the 90s.
I'll buy that.
It was Cincinnati
fun-
in the 90s.
Fun fact: when my wife asked me what movie I had to watch, and I told her Airborne, she was like, "Oh, the dog movie."
I wish.
I wish we watched Airbud.
I had to watch Space Buddies 6 times instead.
Okay.
No, the Buddies movies are not good.
The reason why I did an entire intro the way I did is because I figure you might have a problem with how much all these guys from Cincinnati use the Spanish language in like 1,000 different fucking ways for no reason whatsoever. In the, like the first,
I've only lived in Ohio for 5 years now or 6. I don't. Maybe it was this way in the 90s, Brian. Were they this obsessed with hockey? Because nobody talks about hockey here at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not from the Cincinnati area. I mean, I had some cousins who played hockey. I actually lived up in northern Ohio when I was younger, so I didn't move to the Columbus area until I was a teenager. So I did have some cousins who played hockey.
But it felt more like Minnesota.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It did. Well, and
even-
also he gets off the plane and there's like a fucking snowstorm, and then that's like the only time there's snow in the movie.
And where did he store the surfboard? Because he comes out of the tarmac with it.
didn't you see it come off the plane?
His overhead compartment, bro.
No, it was stored underneath. You guys are missing the entire point.
Guys, the taglines of this movie, though.
Okay, go.
All right. The world's only rock and roller blade movie. There's
Okay.
no rock music in this fucking movie. Makes no
Rock
sense.
and rollerblade.
The movie
No, wait, they
forgets-
use no, that's not true, because don't they use I'm Too Sexy in the
Yeah.
dress up montage?
We will get to that dress up montage.
Mi-
But what question,
Mitchell
though?
became the most popular guy on earth once he took the sky.
Also, somebody jumps in the air in this movie maybe 3 times.
Yeah, okay, there's more. There's more, guys.
this is bullshit.
There's more. To air isn't just human, it's necessary.
That's dumb.
That's a good.
That
one.
doesn't make sense because it's
No, that's a good one.
ERR.
Okay, there's more, guys.
I'll take that one.
There are 2 kinds of people: those who get airborne and those who don't.
So everybody in this movie don't.
Yeah, heroes aren't made. They're
Airborne. Oh my
heroes
god.
aren't made. They're airborne.
That doesn't make.
I like. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like that one.
Yeah, that one's
that
not
doesn't
bad.
make sense.
Now this one I might hit home for you, Monsieur Jusef. Mitchell's life was a California dream until he woke up in Cincinnati.
I mean,
Cut to
Guys, this is the type of
California
you know what's
love.
funny about this movie? This movie is sold as a roller skating movie, and it opens up with them roller skating, and then they don't roller skate for like 40 minutes. Like it completely forgets that
If
it's
it's
a
all
roller
about
skating
surfing,
movie.
why doesn't it switch over to snowboarding?
It has nothing to do with surfing, goddammit.
Guys,
He's a
It
surfer.
has
That's his whole thing.
nothing to do
He
with
fucking
hockey.
like fantasy surfs on his bed and stuff.
he
That
has a
is-
sweet date. He was on that
the
sweet
dreams are the answers to everything in life. Okay, Pepe was the shark. The wave was okay. First,
I
okay,
hate this
we're
fucking
getting way
movie.
ahead of ourselves
This
here.
movie was
You guys
so
are-
bad.
It
Me
was
off
very bad.
now.
Like this movie made me want to watch Night of the Creeps again. I was like, can I turn on Night of the Creeps instead?
You know
guys
what?
feel any of the friendship between him and Wiley?
What's the
No.
point of this movie?
I will say Seth Green and Jack Black are doing work. You can see that they're going to go on. You know what I
Jack
mean?
Black's
They're
doing
bringing
Jack
it.
Black.
I have to say, I was full on with Jack Black when he stood up in class and razzed that fucking kid about his California bullshit. Like he was right. That guy was like, it was making me roll my eyes so fucking hard.
But
I
you
could
know
do
what?
that
What's
entire thing right
TJ? You're trying to defend this movie, right?
Yeah, of course. I'm the only one.
I feel like every week we just shit on TJ's movie.
I mean, he hasn't learned.
No.
So we're following the Cali guy, right?
Yes.
He's the protagonist. What's
Yes.
the point of what is his arc? Because he comes in a cool guy and he leaves a cool guy.
Well,
he comes in a passive guy and he lives a
And
passive
he doesn't
guy.
even really like become friends
I'm gonna
with the
drop-
guys from Cincinnati. They just use each other for mutual
Yeah.
gain.
You guys
Yeah.
There's no story arc in here. Right?
60 seconds. I will drop this knowledge on you real fast.
Also, no, wait. So you can add this to your thing. So this movie is about roller skating, surfing, and hockey, but they're always losing to the hockey team.
No.
So they lose the first match. They win or forfeit the second match because he pants the guy. So the natural resolution,
They won.
natural
That kid had
resolution.
a nice butt, though, right?
They
Yeah,
won.
that's a nice butt. And the natural resolution to
I mean, that 40-year-old man had a nice butt.
Okay.
is to roller skate.
It
down
had
America.
crow's feet. His butt had crow's feet.
Look, I asked for 60 seconds. All right.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
go
give you
ahead.
the arc. Mitchell Guzman already went through his arc. He was a tough.
Stop mentioning his name, man.
Don't
He's
say
said it
Guzman
so
anymore.
many times. Luis Guzman.
He fought for every win.
Oh my God! Remake Airborne. Don't change anything except put Luis Guzman in the lead role. That is the
Watch
best.
that
I would watch that
movie
movie
so
1,000 times.
All right, so
But
now I'm on
Luis
board.
Guzman now,
He's just all like,
like with
"Eh,
his huge
what are you
belly.
talking about, gas?
Look,
What's
man,
up, brah?" He's all. It's like Luis Guzman from Waiting, you know, that
There's
Lu- like with the big belly and everything.
Yeah.
And he's playing a white guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
but
got
Jack
like, a
Black
wig,
is
like
still-
he's got a wig of Mitch's hair, of like the part down the middle hair. It's Luis Guzman
Dude,
with
on
that
that
hair.
same fucking date that they go on that is so fucking weird.
Oh, you mean
Oh,
just a
the
regular
dance-
date, Joe?
The
Piece of
dance
shit?
rapey thing that happens. I was like, why
Do
is
that,
he,
like,
there's no
Atrium?
music? Why did he want to dance? There's no music, and he's very forceful
Where
with
did
him.
he dance?
He takes her to like a weird atrium type thing, and then someone just comes up and fucking like rollerblades in front of him.
She
I was gonna
took
say, does he
him
have his
there.
rollerblades with him too? Like where did he get his
You
rollerblades
guys
from?
watched the movie at all? So she takes him there. He doesn't take her there. He's in rollerblade. They run into each other. Mitchell Guzman is a
Luis
goddamn.
Guzman.
First of all, he's Paul Walker before Paul Walker was ever Paul Walker.
That's not a compliment.
First and only.
Hey, I heard that spot's open again if he's interested.
And this guy doesn't have to go through an arc. He already brought the arc to the film. He's pushing an arc on Jack. He's pushing an arc on Wiley. He's pushing an arc on Nikki. He's pushing an arc on Gloria. He's pushing
Seth,
an arc on
no,
Augie.
wait.
Snake.
I'm gonna
Honestly, Wiley could use some guidance. What is
No.
going on with Wiley?
No, Wiley is
I
Seth
don't know,
Green,
you're from
right?
Ohio. You tell me.
Right, Wiley is Seth Green. Is that Wiley?
Seth Green, yes.
Yeah, that's Seth Green.
When Seth Green introduces himself in the class, he winks and nods to a girl, and the girl blushes and winks and nods back. So he's doing fine in the ladies department. The only thing
I
that
think he just
changed,
needs to focus. I couldn't tell in what way he was weird. Like,
Can
is
we
he a
talk about-
metalhead?
He's a metal.
Is
Can
he
we
a
talk about
nerd?
the
Is
chain
he
code?
like? Why did he have a
Undersized.
pink mesh shirt? Why did he have that mesh shirt, guys?
I've never
Well,
seen.
he just went
I've
through a
never
lot
seen-
of different fucking styles to the movie.
I've
Like,
never
I
seen-
just thought it was a gag.
I've never seen.
I love that montage. That montage
No.
is maybe the best part of the movie.
That's a
No.
teenage kid, guys.
Dude,
Jesus.
dude, wait, time out.
I'm
I'm
sorry, we had low rent Jonathan Brandis in this
Two,
fucking
two,
movie.
two things about that thing is like I've never seen that scene between two straight guys, where it's like a straight guy and a straight guy
Trying on
clothes.
outfits for another
It was
straight
very
guy. That's
weird.
true.
Because they
That's
weren't
true.
two
It's
straight
usually like the
guys.
girl trying to change him or the whatever.
Guess I'm not
But-
bringing any outfits over to your house, Joe.
The second
Listen, we
thing
can
is
go
that
shopping if you want.
I
they
would.
did it. They did it at their house though, so he has all those clothes in his closet. Like they weren't at a mall trying out different styles.
Right,
and
those are
different-
all stuff he already owns. That doesn't mean he was just trying out a pink mesh tank top. He
That's it.
owns a pink mesh tank
I
top.
got like a wannabe like Pauly Shore vibe from that look.
Yeah, he's a teen going through an identity crisis, guys, and he just sounds
So
so.
he was
could
just
get a
like, I'll
haircut.
try to suck some dick in this white mesh, this pink mesh tank top.
Step 1: get a haircut.
Yeah, that would help.
So
He looks like Claire Danes from My So-Called Life in this.
It was Claire Danes from My So-Called Life.
Can I ask a question?
I knew I was attracted to him for some reason.
Can I ask a question? I grew up in an island where weirdly people had toilet papers in the thing that next to the stall and not hanging by a chain in front
That's
of the
Ohio.
stall.
That's your criminally
Is that a
invasive.
thing in the States? Because I was so confused when that scene happened.
No, that's just that's their budget ran out.
Well, no. First of all, it's pushing the prep.
He takes
Under-
a leisurely dump at school. Let's say that. That is a long, leisurely dump to be taking at school. School is an in and out situation. You need to get and go.
He was too cool for school.
That was one way to cut class.
Okay, now let's get to the best part.
Full disclosure, that was my go-to move at my first job. Well, it was my second job, but my first long job. And I worked at Kroger. I was a grocery bagger. And I used to just grab a magazine off the magazine rack and disappear to the employee bathroom until they called me over the overhead and they were looking for me. And then I'd come out and be like, I was up shitting. I would say I'd read all of WWE magazine. I read the whole thing, cover to cover.
Now let's get to the best part of this goddamn.
They should make a movie about that. I didn't
No,
rollerblade, but that's pretty good.
I live. Wait. I live in. I have a very big bone to pick with this movie, and I live in Cincinnati. And when I moved here, I was surprised by the hills that they have here. I was like, whoa, this is not a flat land.
The Devil's Backbone, you
But
mean?
there's no such thing. They literally cut and pasted every single hill that exists in this city
half
into
the
one
movie was-
continuous slow
Half the movie
motion.
was shot in Kentucky, and that's where the hill was.
Well, Cincinnati's the capital of Kentucky, so
Yeah.
That is the okay. So you guys can watch this entire movie and shit on it. You're gonna tell me that
We did.
rollerblading scene wasn't amazing?
It could use music.
It was the
for-
best rollerblading I've seen since Mighty Ducks 2, the intro in the mall.
Ooh,
which
damn,
is
that's
10 times
that's a
better.
high ass bar right there. That's a high bar.
Guess what? That scene is much better.
I grew up.
Yeah, I agree. Nothing in this whole movie lives up to that scene. I'll say that.
Fucking ducks fly together, and what they kind of
When they go and
defeat
find
each other.
what's his name,
Bergman.
the Batch brother, and he ties up those nerds over by the
Yeah,
boat.
he
He
ties
takes
them.
their pants. He takes their pants and he holds
And
them
then-
up triumphantly.
And then they go get Peterman working at the movie theater, and he just leaves his fucking job.
His name is
This
Aberman.
this just proves how much we hated this movie that we just talking about.
I just got angry because
Hey,
everyone's
I
like,
just fucking love D2. Anytime D2 comes up, we're gonna talk about it. The Goodwill games. You get intro Keenan Thompson.
It's
I
the
grew up-
best movie about the Olympics, and probably the most realist thing about a kid from LA.
It's
I grew
also the movie that taught me the song "We Are the Champions."
They do sing it at the end,
Mhm.
and there's
So
a great.
I grew up as
There it is.
I grew up as a
There it
skater.
is.
I grew up as a skater kid, and we used to make fun of kids that rollerblade. And as an adult, I would like we're just mean kids. But after
No.
watching this movie, I was like,
No, looking back, you were right.
100% right.
No,
This is
everyone.
Nailed it.
Dorkiest
I
thing
roll-
I've ever seen in my life.
Somehow roller skates are still cooler than roller blades, and roller skates are pretty dorky too.
Yeah.
Rollerblading is it deserves to be made fun of.
So yeah, I figured I'd bring you guys into Airborne. I thought guys would have some fun with it. This has been a great episode 9 of Flyover to the Film.
We
Brian.
broke TJ. That's it for him.
He's done.
Lead our next Halloween episode.
Tell me about Howard the Duck, TJ. Just get you a little. Wait a minute, that's not good.
Already won trivia. I have nothing to prove to you, sons of bitches.
You just care so much.
Are we gonna go into the ratings phase? Are you
Oh,
curious?
yeah. So yes, ratings. We're gonna start off with Brian. Brian, give me a 1 out of 10, buddy.
I give this movie a 4 for the number of wheels in his inline skate. And that's and I'm mostly doing that out of pity for TJ.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Joe, 1 out of 10. Hit me.
Since this is the third time I've seen the film, I'll give it a solid 4.6.
I feel like you're just playing around now.
Just say there's some laughs, but they're not well intended.
I think the problem with this movie, we didn't get to it, but like the thing that keeps this from being a so bad it's good movie is that it doesn't feel genuine. It feels like a bunch of old white dudes sat around in a room and we're like, what are the kids into these days? Surfing? Skating? My son really loves his inline skates. We'll write a movie around that. Whereas something that like felt like had some actual skaters made a really shitty movie about skating, it would be bad, but it would feel more real. This one is just like, that's where it misses for me. It's like it's not genuine enough for me to enjoy it on a bad level.
Kids were like, that's a hit. That made a hit movie.
Hey, Jusef, 1 out of 10, man. What do you got?
I give it 3 bras out of 10 bras.
What's up, brah?
So basically what I'm saying is I'm throwing these 3 out of the plane. Shane McDermott, I idolized you as a child. You're one of my best friends growing up. I love you, man.
I think he's like a realtor now or something.
Yeah, you
So
buy
what,
a house
man?
from him.
Family, get the fuck over it. Brian, you got our Halloween special episode, man. What you got in store for us, bro?
Well, I was thinking about it, and I know we last episode we talked about our horror franchise and what we're all going to binge for the season. I thought I would give us a break, not add anything to our plate. Just everybody do your homework, watch your franchises, get ready to come back, talk about them. Also, I want a definitive ranking of the ones that you either need to watch. If you don't watch them all, you have to at least watch the ones that you deem worth watching, and then I want them ranked. So, and then any that you chose to skip can go to the bottom, I guess. But so we'll do that. We'll talk about those, and we'll do rankings, and that'll be our big segment. And then we'll do some our regular fun stuff. We'll all bring a regular
longer discussion, because that would be worth it.
Right. Well, because just talking about it last time when we were setting up for it took up like damn near half the episode. So I thought rather than try to get in another movie plus talk about all those franchises, and we're all going to be like really deep into them because we're all going to have watched multiple movies. So let's just let that be the movie for this month. And then I'll come with something really good and labor intensive the next time I'm hosting.
Oh, good. Good.
That's actually an awesome idea. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed episode 9. Check with us in 2 weeks for episode 10 and Halloween episode. Guys, if you can, I challenge Jusef, Joe, Brian. Brian, I know you don't like to dress up. Anyone wants to come in some costume next time? You know what I mean?
That's not fair. I love costumes. I'm a big Halloween guy.
Let's get a little
I don't like to dress up in suits. I don't like to wear nice clothes, but I love costumes.
All right. Challenges out there, guys. So check us out in 2 weeks. And other than that, we'll see you in episode 10.
Wait, we're not going to do any plugs or anything?
Wow.
We're not gonna, no outros, no plugs? This is ridiculous. Bush League.
Brian, where can they find you?
Damn right. They can find me on Twitter. The Suburban Warrior is going to be out there making moves and doing trivias. You can find me at Hercules. Check out my other show, DVD Bunker, where I watch movies and I talk about them. Big surprise. I bet you never heard of a show like that before because I'm a fucking originator. Hashtag DVD Bunker on Twitter. Talk to me, chat with me. And these guys throw it to Joe. What's up, Joe? Plug yourself.
You can
out of the button into the fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You could find me on Patreon, where I will follow you on Twitter for a fee of $3.50 a month, and we'll talk about some cool shit. You also catch my podcast on that Patreon, segmented in 10-minute clips, where you just pay for those 10-minute clips. You know, but it's a good $12.50.
It's individual. You like put quarters into your phone or something, right? That's how that works.
And you could also find me and my own channel on the DVD Bunker.
Separate Bunker Light.
Yeah, it's Bunker Light. We just go over the 4 movies I have, and they're all Ernest films.
Or you recap my show, right? That's you do a recap.
Oh, you can find me on the DVD Bunker Rundown, where we just talk all about Brian and the bunker.
The bunker after.
Guys, we're really good guys. I promise. We really get into this shit. I try to guess how many ginger red hairs he has. I'm gonna go into all that shit he talked about this week.
Jusef.
Oh, I noticed
Richie
Brian was a
Funk.
little raspier than usual this week. What did he say?
Jeez, guys, I think we really meant to get into the stuff, but he just had to pull back a bit because, like, we didn't really want to offend our former co-hosts.
Oh, so good. It's good.
All right, Jusef, what do you got to plug?
You can catch me at wildlovemovies.com or at my YouTube channel, Movie Trivia SmackDown, where we lay down the law of the trivia god.
Take that shit fucking serious too.
Take
No
it
playing
serious.
around.
Guys, respect the
Shit
game.
in a game. Respect the game.
Respect the game.
So our glasses up against the TJ.
Yes.
Raise your glasses, son.
So if you guys have been still listening till now, October 21st, I'll be on Fan Friction on the Tough channel. Check me out, making my debut. Other than that, guys, again, I hope you enjoyed episode 9. Check us out in 2 weeks, episode 10. We're going to be reviewing all the horror movies that we did in episode 8. So, guys, come back 2 weeks, Halloween special. Everyone will be dressed up in something special. You guys do the same thing. Hit us in the comments what you liked, and peace.
Bye.
Respect the game, everyone. Like and subscribe.